has been speaking out in a major way lately. You guys heard about that?
Oh
right?
yeah, he's speaking out.
He
in a
loved the
major way.
president.
Yeah.
He wanted blacks to not spend the next 400 years enslaved.
Sure.
As they did the last 400 years.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think Kanye needs to be on his medication.
Really?
Yeah.
And why?
Well, because he's not taking his medication like he should be. He even said so.
Is he saying anything that's not true?
Yeah, I think everything he's saying is not true.
Like what?
Well,
that slavery was a choice?
Yeah.
Well, he cleared that up for you by saying that in order for blacks to stay enslaved for 400 years, they had to be physically enslaved as well as mentally enslaved.
Right.
And so he doesn't want them to spend another 400 years mentally enslaved.
Sure.
Okay, so they're being controlled by the Democrats and the liberals.
So if every,
do you agree with that?
So I understand that there's something to be said for you're always going to find what you're looking for, and I believe that, and I believe if Mr. Peterson continues to search for examples of whites being taken advantage of by blacks, you're going to continue to find that. However,
you don't have to look very hard.
See, but I think you do, because I think there are more examples of and very legitimate versions of where voter disenfranchisement has occurred throughout the years.
Proof of that.
Redistricting.
No. It's
Absolutely.
easy said but not proven. You have to realize the children of the lie, the Democrats and the right, they just throw out lies and you guys believe the lies.
So you think that there
it,
is some radical conspiracy that you have insight into that the rest of the world doesn't? That you've taken the red pill in the Matrix. You pay attention to what?
What's happening around me and in my world.
Through how do you
explain this to me, both of you?
Yeah.
I grew up on a plantation in Alabama under the Jim
Midway,
Crow laws.
Alabama.
Right. And you did your homework. Nice. And blacks were better off when it came to morality and work, and they bought land and they bought houses. They educated themselves under that law while the law was there. Why were blacks able to do better then and not complaining, not blaming the white man? They knew it was the Democratic government that had passed this law to restrict blacks as far as where they can live and stuff. Why weren't blacks complaining then as opposed to now when they can do whatever they want, whatever they want?
But they were complaining.
Why weren't they? No, they weren't.
They were complaining.
Because they were lynched.
I was there.
Because the minute they complained, they were lynched.
That's not true.
So there was no lynching at that time?
It was happening somewhere, but not in Alabama where I was. I'm sure you could find some. But why were blacks not complaining then?
So what's
they had good lives and better lives then than they do now?
As far as I know, and from my research that I've done, they were complaining.
What's the population of black people that were in your area that you were a part of?
I was too young to think about population, but
okay,
it was a major population.
So, like, talking about how many people?
I have no
So
idea.
give me. So you as a child were able to observe that everybody was happy.
Yes.
But you also said that you don't know.
Going to jail for the most part. You know,
but wait,
there were no gang violence.
I just want to understand.
That only started when blacks left the South and moved to the North, and they got on welfare. They started depending on Jesse Jackson and others. They stopped, as Kanye West want them to do. They stopped being free thinkers.
I mean, this has always been a challenging point when we deal with this issue. Is, as I said earlier, you're going to find what you're looking for. And there is a certain amount where, you know, how do we break the mindset of victimization per se? But they are victims.
They're not victims to the white system.
But there are so many examples.
But also you have to, again, like going back to slavery, it was an institution that was, people were mentally enslaved.
Our current prison system.
And still are mentally enslaved.
And even then, they were better off then than they are today. Because
But you're talking about a trickle-down effect. So
they were not bitching and complaining about the white man not giving them anything.
Sure. But how
they
many?
Should be embarrassed.
I think that's a fallacy.
You even have the men complaining, "Oh, the white man won't give me some more permanent."
Right.
Who is
and
this
the
person?
Men should be embarrassed.
I don't know.
I know so many countless African American men.
You don't know black men.
Honey, I got
racism?
a lot of black friends who are my dearest homies.
I think.
Honey, I got a lot of black friends who are my dearest homies.
I think. We complain about racism because it's real, but I don't think we use racism as a tool for not doing what we needed to get done.
Well, how is racism real?
How is it real?
Yeah. Where's your proof that it's real?
Where's it real?
It just I mean,
Where do we
Philadelphia
start?
is a perfect example of how
What?
racism is real. In Philadelphia, where these black men were arrested by the police because they were just in Starbucks, that's a real example
Well,
of
that's
racism.
not true, though.
What do you mean it's not true?
They were not arrested because they were in Starbucks.
Why were they arrested?
They were arrested because they would not leave. They just sat there and sat there. The manager
Right.
asked them to leave.
And where is
they
it
would not leave. And the cops came and asked them to leave.
Right.
They would not leave, so they were arrested.
So why were
Isn't
they
that
asked?
common
Why
sense?
were they asked to leave?
Because
though?
they were not buying anything. They just sat there for hours.
Now, you don't-
And
you-
you can't come into my business and just sit there and don't buy anything.
Yeah, but they were
That
waiting for
happens.
their
Have
friend.
you ever been to
No.
a Starbucks?
They were not waiting.
But their friend showed up.
And that's all lies.
It's all-
No.
I don't know if
Okay, so this is
but my point is, they were not arrested because they were just sitting in Starbucks.
Okay, so here's an example. Okay, so at Hamilton High School, they used to have these things called truancy tickets. Okay,
Right.
now you know what those are?
Being late for class or something.
Right. So the police would drive around the neighborhood and arrest kids who were not in school during school hours.
Right.
And so I, a young black kid, was arrested countless times
Right.
for trying to get to class on time, while the cops would drive around looking for more kids. Now we always drove past white kids. We didn't pick them up. So maybe that's just a random occurrence, but it happens so much it's hard to ignore
Are you
the
saying
fact.
that's an example of racism?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
where they were taught.
That is not an example of
What's
racism.
What's an example
I
of?
counsel with some of those kids from that school
Okay.
as I do other schools.
But what's it an example
They come
of?
from one-parent homes.
Yeah,
they
but-
don't
but
obey
that's
the
not
teachers.
about-
They're not into class, and because black people have not corrected their children.
So
then
wait,
sometimes
just so
the
I
good
understand.
sometimes the goods have to suffer with the bad.
So the cops were picking up only the black kids and the brown kids,
Because it
avoiding
was-
the white
it
kids.
was
That is
majority
not.
of them that's
What do
doing
you
that.
think racism is?
It doesn't exist.
Well, okay, so if it
It's a
does
made-up
exist,
lie.
what is it? What does it mean?
It doesn't exist.
So okay, but you're saying the word. What do you think people
It's a
mean?
made-up word.
What do people mean by racism to you?
It's a made-up word by the children of the lie in order to control and manipulate. I gotta ask you about.
Okay,
But when we were growing up,
Yeah.
when black people were decent people,
Yeah.
they said there was good and bad in all races.
Uh-huh.
Treat people the way you would like to be treated. Whites taught their kids the same thing.
Sure.
And as a result, the people got along well. It was the government that had the law there to divide as far as freely living where you want. But the blacks and the whites got
Yeah.
along. That's why the white people died to help get the laws changed. They sacrificed their lives. It wasn't the people, it was the government.
Yeah,
But
this
I
is-
gotta
this-
ask you about the
I don't
great
understand.
white.
No, I have one more point to say about that. I still miss my ex-girlfriend, and it's because I've romanticized the past.
No, you
If I
miss
were
it
to-
because you're emotional.
If I were to go back to it,
are emotional.
if I were to go back to it, I would realize all the same reasons that we broke up in the first place. I think you romanticize the past
No.
in a way that
I
is
know you guys
inaccurate.
don't want to believe it, but you've been lied to.
I don't know what.
And
I was
You
gonna
keep
say-
going. You
I
keep
I don't know
going
what
back
the lie.
to this.
The lie is. What's the lie?
That black was so bad off back then, and that because of Jim Crow laws,
I
blacks
think-
were being hung from
So
trees.
were
and-
blacks ever
and
enslaved?
blacks were, 150 years ago?
Were they? So that
It
was
had
real.
nothing to do with what's happening even when I was growing up.
That
So wait,
has
just so I
everything to do
understand,
with
just so I
race.
understand,
Had
just so I
nothing to do
understand.
with
You
Yeah.
do believe? I just
This
need to get
is
a
why
foundation
Kanye
for.
West
Okay.
doesn't want you to live another 400 years mentally enslaved.
Right. So, but wait. So you do agree that we were mentally enslaved at one point,
No.
but you said that Kanye West
You're
doesn't want.
mentally enslaved now.
So you
because
weren't before.
Right.
So you were not mentally enslaved before.
That's right.
So you disagree with Kanye.
I do.
Okay. Oh well, then we.
On that part, I
good.
do.
Oh, so we weren't. Okay.
Because blacks are mentally enslaved today. Because
and they,
of
but
the
they
broken-
weren't. They weren't before.
They were not. They were physically enslaved.
But not
150
mentally
years ago.
enslaved.
No.